Hello all my students, how have you been? Welcome to the science lecture all my dear 3rd standard girls and boys. This is Rohan sir from Mahdi English Medium School welcoming all my dear students once again in the science lecture. Students, how have you been? Were you doing all your work properly in the online class? I hope that you are even enjoying live classes nowadays as you have the live classes on the alternate days. And I hope that you are giving your 100% as you are giving in the live classes in the online video lectures when you sit to watch the video lectures. That will only happen when you will follow all the instructions given throughout the lecture. Initially it was difficult for you to watch the lectures and obey the instructions, as for you the thing was you had to match the level, the timings, the language, everything was difficult, but now I hope gradually you have been following everything in the lecture. Students, what are we going to do today is we are going to revise chapter number 12, not in the simpler way. You have to watch the video lecture carefully, and after a certain time interval you have to answer the verbal questions being asked. So please do this much throughout the lecture. What do we have to do is, while you watch this lecture, after each 1 or 2 paragraphs I will be asking you the questions. So you have to listen to that question very carefully, and you have to hold your rough book and pencil throughout the lecture. You never know when I will throw a question on you after 1 or 2 paragraphs. You have to catch that question, you have to understand that question, and then you have to write the answer in the given, a very short time interval, that is few seconds. This will only happen if you watch the lecture carefully. That's different thing that you already have understood this chapter, but after every 2 paragraphs or each paragraph, if I'll ask you the question, you will be able to answer only if you understand that particular paragraph. So now we are just overlapping the chapter paragraph by paragraph so that there should be no doubts remaining throughout the lecture in the chapter. So this will not only be test of your understanding but your listening power as well, and also by this way it will be a good revision for you for the chapter, for all the topics in the chapter. So I hope that you have got the format of what and how we are going to work it out in the lecture. Be ready with your books. I'll give you a couple of seconds. Your rough book, your pencil, your brain and your ears, that's it. Also your hands. So these all things should coordinate in this lecture. Now don't take it lightly. You might think that you already have understood the chapter, you know question and answers, you know the objectives, but you never know when the question is asked from which paragraph. So paragraph by paragraph you will have to pay attention, and yes, you have to give answer numbers, because at the end of the lecture you have to send me the answers. You can send it to me or to your follow-up teachers, never mind. But then if the answer numbers are specifically given, I will be able to check that whether you have understood this question or not. Sometimes it happens that when I ask the question, you may misunderstand the question and the answer will become something else. So these all things you will have to take care of throughout the lecture. So let's get started now. Now the textbook will be there in front of you on the screens. Chapter 12, Air, Water and Weather. These are all the natural processes, we cannot handle it. So this chapter is based therefore on the natural phenomena. Now the learning objectives from this chapter is, you will learn the details regarding air, water, weather, change in the weather, seasons and many more things. So we don't have to solve this warm up exercise, as we already have done it for the first time when I was explaining you the chapter. So let's move towards the first topic of this chapter. What does air contain? Students, before going through this paragraph, what does air contain? What do you think it contains? You will say that, sir, we can't even see how the air looks like. So how can we say what air contains? Though the air is unseen, there are many unexpected things which is the part of air. Let us understand. If you take a glass of very cold water and place it on a table, you will soon notice water drops sticking on the outer side of the glass. This so happens even with the bottle. When you have the water bottle, the cold water bottle or the water bottle in which ice is there, when you keep it in the room temperature on the table, slowly the water droplets will be observed on the outer layer. Inside the water bottle, okay, we can understand water is there. But outside the water bottle, how can you see the water droplets outside the water bottle then? Have you ever thought about it? Even when you go to school in the summer season, your mom gives you the water bottle, cold water bottle, and she keeps it in the plastic bag so that the water does not spills out in your bag. Why is it so? Is there any leakage in the water bottle? No. Let us understand what is it. So where do these water drops come from? This water didn't leak through the glass. It came from the air. Air contains water in the form of water vapor. So the water droplets on the outer layer of the glass is not from the glass, because there is no leakage. If there would be the leakage, water would not have been there inside the glass by now. It is the water droplet from the atmosphere, from the air, because the air contains water vapor. Not only the water vapor, but the air also contains important gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide. So oxygen we get from the air only. We breathe in oxygen, right? Without oxygen we cannot survive. So air not only contains oxygen, carbon dioxide, but it also contains the dust particles and germs. See, like I said, even though the air is unseen, it contains many important things within. So these can stick to our body easily. That is why we should always have a bath daily. We should also wash our hands before eating to clean off the germs. So this is why it happens, no? Always doctors, your parents, your guardians, they all guide you in the proper way. They ask you to wash your hands before you eat, because you are going to eat with your hands. That particular bite is going to go inside your mouth, and that germs will reach inside your stomach and will spoil your health. There is a reason why you should wash your hand with the soap or liquid soap at least for 20 seconds. Nowadays, during this pandemic, especially because of COVID-19, you have been asked to wash your hands because germs are there in the air, whether you accept or not. So I hope now you got the point that what does air contains. These specially 4 things you have to remember: oxygen, carbon dioxide, dust particles, germs. Let's move towards the next topic, water. Students, what is water? Yes, I am asking you, what is water? No, you don't have to write this answer, just generally I am asking you. You will say that, sir, what nonsense question you are asking us. Water, 70% of the earth, more than 70% is covered with the water. More than 70% of our body contains water. Now you are asking what is water? H2O, right? So water is very important for life on the earth, like I said, because our body more than 70%, earth more than 70% is claimed to be covered with the water. All living things need water. Why do we need water? Yes, because otherwise we will get dehydrated. Like I said, if 70% of the human body is covered with the water. Now just imagine you are having a fish tank in your house. This is fish tank, and this fish tank is filled up with the water. Now the fishes are there inside the water. You need to refill the water, right? You can't keep dirty water for more than 2 days. Fishes will die. Same thing happens inside your body. As you can see, this fish tank, 70% more than it is covered with the water. Similarly, your body is covered more than 70% of water, so you have to recycle the water within your body. More water, more excretion of water, again more water. So intake and outgoing of water should be, yes, it is compulsory for our body to refill the water of the body. Only then proper minerals will be there inside and fresh water will be there, so fresh oxygen will be there and we will remain fresh. So that is why it is written that all living things need water, even the plants. We use water for the various purposes such as drinking, cooking and watering the plants. See, like I said, water is there everywhere, right from when we wake up in the morning, we brush our teeth, we need water to gargle. We feel thirsty, we need water. We want to cook the breakfast, dinner, lunch, we need water. Right? We want to wash our utensils, our clothes, our kitchen, our every single thing, we need water. We want to take bath, we need water. So water is part and parcel, we can say, for the human being. So let us understand water cycle. Before understanding water cycle, I want to ask you 1 or 2 questions still here. Like I said in the beginning of the chapter, I will be asking you the questions. So first question is, because of what can we see water droplets in the outer surface of the cold glass? I repeat my question. Because of what can we see water droplets on the outer surface of the cold glass? Please write the answer. Answer should not be more than 1 or 2 words here. Okay, I suppose you might have written the answer. Question 2. What does air contain? Write any 2 things. What does air contains? Write any 2 things. Okay, these were the 2 questions I asked you. Just count your thing that I have asked 2 questions still here. Now let's move towards the next topic, water cycle. So like I said, water cycle should be there inside your body. Now let us understand the water cycle in the big way. We know that ice, water and water vapor are 3 forms of water. This is what we have understood in the 5th chapter, solid, liquid and gases. So what happens to the water when wet clothes dry in the sun? Oh, this is an interesting question, don't you think so? Your maid or mom or someone washes the clothes. Then they hang on the rope or somewhere under the sunlight so that it becomes dry. Have you ever imagined how the wet clothes dry under the sun quickly? Otherwise in the rainy season it takes 2 days for a single cloth to become dry. But under the sunlight it is just a take of 2 hours or 3 hours, no more than that. Why is it so? Is there any magic? You will say that, sir, because sun is very hot. But then what is the connection? Even if the sunlight falls on us, We perspire, but the clothes perspiration, that means the water on the clothes, becomes dry. Why? The water present in the wet clothes changes into the vapor due to the heat from the sun. So directly the sun rays, the heat of the sun falls on the water. So the process of evaporation takes place. When water is heated, it turns into the smoke. That process takes place on the clothes also. So water present on the cloth, on the wet cloth, starts evaporating, starts changing into the vapor, and that takes off the water from within the cloth. That's why the clothes dry easily. In the same way, the sun heats up the water from the rivers, ponds, lakes and seas and plants. This water evaporates into the air as a water vapor. So all the water bodies, you might have seen many water bodies like lakes, do not have the water in the summer season because the water is soaked by the sunlight. So evaporation procedure takes place. When it goes higher, the water vapor cools down to form the small droplets. So slowly when the water turns into the water vapor due to the sunlight, vapor goes up and up till the certain level, and again it converts into the water droplets because it cools down, right? So the change of water vapor to water droplets is called condensation. My dear children, condensation process means again when the water after heated, after converted into the smoke, after it cools down, it changes into the water droplet. So when water vapor again changes into the water droplets, that process is called condensation. These tiny water droplets mix with the dust and other things to form the clouds. So this is how the dark clouds are formed, because in the dark cloud not only the water but water droplets along with the dust particles are there to hold that, it makes the big cloud, but inside the clouds the tiny water droplets join to form the big drops. When water drops in the cloud becomes too heavy to remain in the air, they fall down as rain. In the places that are very cold, the water drops freezes into the ice and come down as a snow. So this is a very simple process. When the water droplets are joined together in the clouds, obviously clouds are in the air, it is as light as the air. So it cannot hold the water droplets for the long time. After all, it is not a container, come on. So when it becomes very heavy that the clouds cannot hold water droplets, what happens? Boom. That means the sound of clouds comes, and then you know that it is the indication that the rainfall is going to happen, and then the rainfall happens. So at certain places snowfall happens, because when the water droplets are combined in the clouds, in certain areas, in the mountainous regions, in the northern regions, it is very cold. So the water droplets are converted into the ice. Same as when we keep the water into our deep freeze, it becomes ice. Same thing happens there. So the snowfall happens at that places. So I hope that you understood the process of snowfall and rainfall. So this rainwater or snow fills the sea, river, ponds, lakes and cycles continues. So again the water which went up from the water bodies comes back to the water bodies. So this cycle keeps going on season by season, and this cycle involving the change of water into the water vapor and then again back to the water is water cycle. So this is the picture we have seen many times, you have drawn many times in the live classes as well. So now I hope that you might have become the master of water cycle, and you will be able to explain water cycle to anyone even elder than you. Can't you? I am pretty sure now you will be able to. So let's move towards another topic, weather. The general conditions of the air around us is called weather. You know, sometimes weather is hot, it is cold. Now it is hot anyways. When I am making this video lecture, let me tell you, it's very hot. So changes in weather are caused by the sun, wind and water vapor. Students, you will have to remember these three things. These are the three factors because of which change in the weather takes place: sun, wind, water vapor. Because of sun, it is very hot climate. Wind, yes, it is the moving air, so you know, sometimes it's hot, sometimes it is cold. Water vapor, you know, because of which the rainfall happens. Let's understand the subtopics. Before that, I want to ask you two questions. One, when the water changes into the water vapor, it is called dash. When the water changes into the water vapor because of the sun's heat, it is called dash. Please write the answer and answer number properly, like I said in the beginning of the lecture. Water into the water vapor because of the sun's heat. Okay, time is up. Second question. At some places which are very cold, water comes down in the form of dash. At certain places where it is very cold atmosphere, water comes down in the form of dash. I hope you are writing the answer. Okay, so the change of water into the water vapor again to the water is called which cycle? Is called which cycle? Please write the answer. Okay, so till now I have asked you 5 questions. Please take a note whether you have written or not. You have to send it to your follow-up teachers and you have to keep the heading that live questions. Yes, that is the heading you have to give, live questions. Okay, anyways, let's continue with the subtopic of weather, sunny days. Sunny days means the days with the sun, very hot. Sunny days are usually hot. Like I said, afternoon is the hottest time of the day. Yes, afternoon, the time when you join the live lectures, the time when I am recording the lectures, this time is very hot. Really, you feel to just sit under the cooler or air conditioner. Morning and evening are cooler. Yeah, when you take bath in the morning, you don't feel so much hot, or you know, late evening, you don't feel so much hot. But afternoon time, oh, it's really very hot. Let us understand windy and cloudy days. Moving air is called wind. This is what I have told you. That what do we call wind? The moving air. Air, if it is not moving, you don't feel the wind. But when the air is moving, the trees are moving, tree tops are moving, and that throws the air on you, that's called wind. So when the wind blows slowly, it is called breeze. This is what you have to remember, that slowly moving wind is called breeze. It's not as strong as storm. So the strong winds usually accompanied by the lightning, thunder, rain or snow is called storm. Storm is always very dangerous. It takes off the houses or the huts of the poor people. It gives a lot of multiplication to disaster. The sun appears to hide on the cloudy days. You know, clouds covers the sky, so sun is rarely seen. The sky is full of clouds. It is cooler on the windy and cloudy days than on the sunny days. Yes, because you know, it throws the cool air on us. because the sun is covered, sun rays are not directly fall, sun is otherwise very far away from us. This is what I have shown you the video many a times in the live lecture as well. So it is covered, our earth's atmosphere outer layer is covered with the clouds, and that makes the earth cooler. Like in the afternoon time we close the windows, we close the curtains, then we turn on the AC. This does not let us feel the sunlight. Same thing happens with our earth. I want to show you the example drawing something. This is our earth, and the clouds cover is like the curtains and the windows. So it does not let the sunlight fall directly on the earth. This makes our earth cooler. Yes, so for our earth, curtains are the clouds, as you can see in the picture. So this protects our earth from the direct sunlight, and that's why the air at that time is cooler compared to the days otherwise when it is sunny days. Now I want to ask you a question, and then I will end today's lecture. We will continue from the next part in the next lecture. Anyways, the question for you is, when the wind is slow, it is called dash. When the wind is slowly moving, it is called dash. I hope this answer might be easy for you to write it down and to recall. And the last question, when does the sun disappears? When does the sun disappears? There are one or two words here for answer. When does the sun disappears? I hope that you have gotten my question. Okay, so there are 7 questions I asked you in this lecture. Now let's see how many of you will send me the answer, how many of you have understood paragraph by paragraph precisely. Till then, wait for my another lecture. With your books and pencils, be ready even in the next lecture. Take care of your health, wear masks, use sanitizer, wash your hands as many times as possible. Have a nice day. Goodbye.